Now the word keys, I looked it up in Hebrew. It means laws. Principles. He said, look, I will give you, look at him, I will what? Give you. Give you what? Some laws. Which means when you were born, you didn't know them. This is why the entire year I'm going to be teaching you the laws found in His Word. Because I'm living by them, friends. I'm telling you, if I tell you about my life, I don't talk much anymore about my life because Bahamians get jealous. But let me tell you something. If you begin to operate on the laws, no, silly, I cannot talk about this. You don't need to manipulate anything if you're operating by laws. Laws are natural. The aircraft lifts naturally. The pilot says if you try to keep it on the ground, it will destroy itself. In other words, once you kick into a certain law, you can't help yourself. You have to take off. I will give you keys. That means you weren't born with them. Your church didn't teach you them. Your parents don't know them. I will give you keys. What would happen to the keys? He says, when you learn these keys, whatever you lock up. In other words, you can stop things. You can lock things up. You can stop things from working. You can stop gravity, and heaven will kick in with another law. I'm going to give you laws that will bring heaven to interfere in earth. Look at it. Gravity thought it was in charge until the law of lift arrived. I'm telling you, God's about to do something this week to defy everything they're saying about you. Hallelujah. God is going to do some things in your life this year that people will say, that is impossible. Anybody got an impossible situation right now? Hold your hand up. I got a few right now too. Everybody say, all things are possible if I believe the laws of God. Give God a big hand clap. You're coming out of that stuff. He's going to put you at a different level. That is the key to life. The key to life, Jesus says, is learning the keys, the laws. This is why I put this to you. Write this down. The most important knowledge in life is law. The pilot is trained to understand the law of lift. That's why he goes to pilot training. They teach the pilot all the details about aerodynamics so that he knows how that machine runs. The most important knowledge on earth is laws. If you learn laws, you can defy life. Defy, that's a big word, eh? Defy means you can embarrass life. You can tell life, that's what you say, but here's what I'm going to do. Life says that's how far I can go, but I go above where life says to stop. In other words, laws allow you to tell life, it doesn't stop here. I am going beyond your limitations. I am going above your fence that you built. I have some laws that will lift me above your restrictions. It's laws. Write this down. Number 2. The most powerful force on earth is law. Once you learn the laws of life, life becomes your servant. You don't need to experiment in life. All you got to do is learn the laws of life and activate them, and they work for you. What I love about what the pilot said to me, I can't get it out of my mind. He says, when it hits 160, it creates a new law. And if you try to stay on the ground, the equipment will explode. That is incredible to me. You getting it? One person got it. He said, look, once you hit the law, bam, you don't have to try nothing. Matter of fact, let me quote what he said to me this morning. He said, when you leave the ground at 160, he says, ready for this? He says, you lose control. And the Lord takes over the aircraft. Did you hear that? He said, pilots don't fly planes, they just steer them. I said, what? Did you hear that? He says, you see, once you hit the law, it takes up by itself. All you got to do is steer it. God's about to take you to a level, all you got to do is sit back. Somebody showed kicking the law. He said, now, when you're on the ground, gravity is in control. And when you hit lift, lift takes control. You lose control. And he said, if you try to control the aircraft at 160 and try to keep it on the ground, it will explode. Laws are so powerful that once you learn them and you use them, you become irresistible. Let me tell you, let me put it another way. I told you last time that laws make success automatic. Planes fly automatic. You know, automatic pilot is simply the pilot putting in the codes into the computer to steer the aircraft, not to fly it. It's flying by itself because it has another law. It just steers it. God is going to position you where you'll be like Jesus Christ. He said, I only say what I hear my Father say. I only do what I see my Father do. Why? I'm under another law. I'm controlled by something bigger. I just do what he say, go where he said me to go. I'm just enjoying this ride. I'm just kind of steering this thing. You know, this big monster is under control of another law. That means that pilots are not in control of the aircraft. They are only steering it. The law of lift takes over. Write this down. Law is inherent in creation. You know, lift was always there. Let me ask you a question to prove it. How many of you believe that Moses could have flown an aircraft in his day? I totally believe it. I believe in Genesis you could have flown an aircraft. Guaranteed. How do I know? Because nothing that exists today did not exist when Moses was alive. I gotta go. This is too exciting to me. Listen. All Moses had to do was to put the combinations together. There was air, there was iron ore, there was aluminum, there was wood, there was oil, everything was in the earth. He just couldn't combine them to create another law. And so the Wright brothers came along and used the very stuff that was there in Moses' time. In other words, God don't want you to invent no new revelation for you to go to the next level. His word is forever. You got to be able to combine the pieces. You have everything you need to do anything you need to do. But you got to understand the laws.